She heard bits of it through Jack. Yeah. We actually worked a bit on that, but then the version of it never came out.
Look who I have next to me.
Hi, Kitty. I saw
collaboration between the person who's writing that, but also the audience.
Oh my God.
Without you, without the people that have listened.
I've just never been this happy in my life, in all aspects of my life, ever before.
You guys have been asking for it, and I'm here to deliver. Welcome to Swiftly Explained, and today we're going to talk about every single song that Taylor Swift and Matty Healy wrote about each other. I went into a rabbit hole of finding all of the clues and Easter eggs they left for each other in their songs, and oh my God, I was left speechless. They had been pining and dreaming about each other for decades before they finally got together in 2023. So many of Taylor's lyrics are inspired from Matty's songs and vice versa. And I'm going to decode everything for you guys. I'm going to give a brief introduction and background about their relationship so we can easily follow along to their story before I start decoding all of the songs. They met back in November 26, 2014, when Taylor attended her first 1975 show. They met backstage and connected, and I think Matty fell for Taylor at that time, but Taylor wasn't so sure about him.
for you earlier, so you should get that soon.
Love you, baby. Bye-bye.
He started dedicating songs to her on stage, and they even hung out after the shows. I think Matty probably said, "I love you" to Taylor, but she didn't say it back because he was seen getting frustrated. He reportedly broke down on stage crying and told the fans that he said, "I love you" to someone and they didn't say it back. He also posted some poetry on Instagram and then deleted it. He then denied the dating rumors in an interview. He clearly wanted to date her, but she didn't.
Bloody fake. It's all fake. It's all a farce. She's the biggest pop star in the world. I'm in Australia. There's no relationship or anything happening. So that didn't really happen as much as it'd be amazing for me if it did. Unfortunately.
Rumors started to die down, and after that, they both attended the Brits after party, where Taylor met Calvin Harris and started dating him. She obviously wasn't that interested in him yet, like he was, but he was making his room into her mind little by little as she went on to date other men. Throughout the years, Matty kept getting asked about Taylor, but the narrative shifted from "we didn't date" to "we couldn't date because I was scared of all the publicity around her and what it really meant to be her boyfriend." It was obvious she was never not on his mind. In 2020, both of them attended the Enemy Awards and hugged. It's so funny how whenever they meet, Taylor's either with a boyfriend or looking to date someone else. She was with Joe at this event, and it was obvious they weren't able to talk openly because of him. Then in 2021, Matty started working with Jack Antonoff on the 1975's next album, and Taylor started working on Midnights, also with Jack Antonoff. He revealed that both of them heard each other's albums through Jack before they actually came out, and he even worked on Midnights with Taylor, but she never released the songs. I think this is where Taylor got serious about him and actually thought about giving the relationship a real
Also gave it
try.
to Taylor Swift early. She got an early listen.
She heard bits of it through Jack. Yeah.
Did she return the favor with her latest release and let you listen to it before the general public?
Yeah. We actually worked a bit on that, but then the version of it never came out.
Boo!
No. That's not how it works. It was for reasons that are not to be criticized. She's amazing.
Taylor's song Question got added to the 1975 pre-show playlist, and it was clear now that both of them were well invested in each other. Then on January 12, 2023, Taylor did a surprise performance at the 1975 show. This was the first performance of Anti-Hero, and it was clear that Taylor had developed deep feelings for Matty at this point.
I was thinking of doing one that I'd never played live before.
Matty said this at the same show.
Not kissing anybody in front of Taylor Swift. Have some respect. From the Queen. It's not happening.
They kept in touch after that, and Taylor was waiting to call it quits with Joe so she could date Matty. In March, Matty ghosted his ex, Taylor broke up with Joe and changed Invisible String to The One. Then finally in May, he says the famous, "You know who you are, I love you," to Taylor on stage before playing About You. About You was also added to the Eras Tour pre-show playlist, confirming all the rumors. Then 2 days later, he flies 20 hours to see Taylor's concert, where she mouths the exact same thing to him before playing Cardigan. Matty attends a bunch of Taylor's concerts, and we get the infamous paparazzi pics of them going out on dates. Then, at the end of March, before playing Question, Taylor makes this speech, which is clearly about Matty.
There's a song from Midnights that I love so much. I've just never been this happy in my life, in all aspects of my life, ever before. I don't know. It's not just the tour, it's like, I don't know, I just sort of feel like my life finally feels like it makes sense. And so I thought I'd play this song. Which brings me really a lot of happy memories.
A week later, The Sun reports that Matty and Taylor are supposedly moving in together. And then a week after this, they reportedly break up. Taylor removed About You from the Eras Tour pre-show playlist. This is all the information that's been out in the public eye, and from what we can see, they have a long history of pining for each other and waiting for the right circumstances to date. People blame Taylor for dating such a man, not knowing how long she waited and thought about it before actually doing it. And we can see that in all the songs she wrote about him throughout the years. I'm going to start dissecting the songs, starting from Tortured Poets Department all the way to the 1989 era where they first met. Keep these 4 themes in mind because they are in every song that Taylor wrote about Matty. First is Lost Love, Twin Flame Vibes, fantasizing about what could have been, starry visuals, and infidelity because Taylor's always guilty of thinking about him while she's with someone else. Let's start from Tortured Poets album. The most obvious song is Down Bad, where she talks about getting abducted by aliens and then being thrown back into the world. The concept of the song points to Matty, since it's essentially about someone that she fell in love with for a brief period of time, and then they left her. From her lyrics, we know that Matty was love-bombing her when she says, "Did you really pick me up just to do experiments and tell me I was the chosen one?" which implies that he was probably. And we know Matty was notorious for his outrageous opinions, and Taylor, in the lyrics, says, "I loved your hostile takeovers and all your indecent exposures." And then she says she'll build him a fort on some planet where they can all understand it, which clearly depicts that it's about Matty. Let's move on to the next song called Fresh Out the Slammer. Now I'll go into depth about the most obvious songs about him because this video is going to get 2 hours long if I dissect each lyric. I will explain just enough so you know it's about him. Now, Fresh Out the Slammer is obviously about escaping a 6-year relationship prison, and who was the first person she called after breaking up with Joe? The entire song is about running to him after getting out of the jail that Joe put her in because he refused to get out of the house. Next, we have Guilty as Sin, which is one of the most obvious songs on the album. Joe is still the equivalent of jail in the lyrics. My boredom bone deep, this cage was once just fine. And the most obvious hint that this is about Matty are the lyrics, drowning in the Blue Nile, he sent me downtown. Lights. Downtown Lights is a song by the Blue Nile, which is one of Matty's favorites.
Blue Nile. There's an album called Hats by the Blue Nile. It's one of the best albums of all time. You can hear so much of the 1975 in that album.
Also, the song depicts fantasizing about someone inappropriately, and she feels guilty doing it while she's with someone else. Also, the lyrics, I keep these longings locked in lowercase inside a vault, I think refer to unreleased vault songs that Taylor left in Folklore and Evermore albums. I will get more into that later. The next most obvious song is the title track, Tortured Poets Department. The lyrics, who uses typewriters anyway, directly refer to Matty because he uses them.
But I really like typewriters as well. I don't have one with me because that is really impractical.
Also, the lyrics, you're not Dylan Thomas and I'm not Patti Smith, refer to Taylor and Matty as she teasingly says that they are not tortured poets. Like them, instead, they are 2 modern pop stars. Also, the lyrics, you smoked, then ate 7 bars of chocolate is oddly specific, and we know Matty is a smoker, so it directly refers to him. Also, the tattooed golden retriever line refers to him as well because Matty has tattoos and Joe doesn't. In the lyrics, Taylor says, but you told Lucy you'd kill yourself if I ever leave, and I had said that to Jack about you. so I felt seen. Lucy is a mutual friend between Taylor and Matty as well as Jack. Also, the lyrics about putting the ring on her engagement ring finger directly refers to him hinting about marriage and kids and false promises that he made to her but never fulfilled. Next up, we have I Can Fix Him, in parentheses, no really I can. Now, I'm 100% certain that Taylor was fully aware of Matty's entire discography because her style of writing the title is similar to the 1975 song titles. Taylor took a lot of inspiration from Matty's songs, and people are not really aware of it. The entire Fortnite music video literally reflects the way they make and direct music videos. We'll get more into that later. Now, the whole concept of the song is about a bad boy and Taylor trying to fix him while the public shakes its head in disapproval. The smoking reference again in the lyrics. The smoke cloud bows out his mouth like a freight train through a small town. At the end, she gives up and accepts that she cannot fix him, which is kind of how their relationship ended. He stayed the same, and she was left tortured by him. Also the lyrics, his hand so calloused from his pistol softly traces hearts on my face, refers to the gun she talks about. In The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, saying, "Did you sleep with a gun under our bed?" The smallest man who ever lived is a clear depiction of Matty and how he ended the relationship by ghosting her. In the lyrics, she says, "You tried to buy some pills from a friend of friends of mine. They just ghosted you. Now you know what it feels like." Also the lyrics, "Cause it wasn't sexy once it wasn't forbidden," refers to how she used to fantasize about their love when she was in relationship with Joe. The forbidden love sounded attractive to her until they actually started dating and realized it wasn't sexy at all. Some people still believe that this song might be about Joe, but if you look at the lyrics, you kicked out the stage lights, but you're still performing. It clearly portrays Matty and how he performs on stage. Next up is But Daddy I Love Him, which is so clearly how a relationship which is disapproved by everyone. Taylor has never gotten this much hate for dating a guy. And Taylor made her thoughts very clear about how she felt by the media's strong disapproval in the song. The song speaks for itself, so I won't go into depth about its lyrics. Next is My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. Once again, we have a reference to an old flame when she says, "We could have played for keeps this time." Also, her saying he was my best friend down at the Sandlot gives twin flame vibes. And all these childhood Sandlot references might be alluding to the fact that she met Matty when they were both young and crazy. She also says that she felt more because Matty took her out of her box, which Joe had put her in for 6 years. Finally, she says, "He left all these broken parts and told me I'm better off." This is a reference back to Down Bad in the lyrics where she says, "How dare you think it's romantic leaving me safe and stranded?" It showcases how Matty might have left her because he knew being with him would ruin her image as well, so he told her that she was better off without him. Next is the song Loss of My Life or Love of My Life. 90% of the people, including myself, thought that most of the songs on Tortured Poets were about Joe at first. But if you look deeper into it, majority of them are about Matty. After listening to Love of My Life endless times, I've realized that it's 100% about Matty. The lyrics, "Still alive killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried," points to their relationship and how it was never over no matter what relationship both of them were in. And the lyrics, "The memories of the time I was away, stitching we were just kids, babe, I said, I don't mind, it takes time." This is another Old Flame reference. And the lyrics, "Mr. Steal Your Girl, then make her cry," directly reference him because he kind of stole her from Joe, then made her cry. And the lyrics that cements that this is about Matty are, "It was legendary, it was momentary, it was unnecessary, shoulda let it stay buried." All of this described their relationship perfectly. It was intense, short, unnecessary, and she regrets giving him a chance. Up next is Fortnite, and I don't even need to go into detail about this one. The name itself implies that it was about a relationship that lasted only a fortnight, and their relationship was the shortest in Taylor's dating history. It is also a very metaphorical song with lots of unclear lyrics, and most of them point to her relationship with Matty, like, "Running to you, sometimes ask about the weather." They ran into each other multiple times throughout the years. Also, the music video has lots of nods to 1975's style of making music videos. The reason why I think Taylor wrote this many songs about him was because their relationship ended abruptly because he ghosted her. She had so much to say and tell him, but he didn't give her a chance. So she put all of these thoughts and feelings into 30-plus songs, and he became the biggest inspiration for Taylor's creative ability. Next up, we have the anthology, and the very first song, which I think is about Matty, is I'm Gonna Get You Back. The way Taylor wrote the title of this song without any spaces directly points to 1975's song Falling for You, which Matty has sung and dedicated to Taylor at his shows multiple times. The lyrics in Falling for You say, "All we need is my bike and your enormous house." And Taylor in this song says she hasn't decided if she was going to be his wife or smash up his bike. Also, the lyrics, "Say you got somebody, I said I got someone too," refers to how both of them were in different relationships yet dreaming about each other all throughout the years. Next up, we have Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. This song strongly starts off with a picture of a person being with someone else, and the different names in the song title suggest that it isn't important to her who it was, Chloe or Sam or Sophia. The lyrics, "Your hologram stumbled into my apartment, hands in the hair of somebody in darkness named, Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus." And "I just watched it happen" refers to Matty being with many different people. Now, we all know Matty has a habit of kissing fans on stage, so the song definitely points to this. Also the lyrics, "As the decade would play us for fools and you saw my bones out with somebody new who seemed like he would have bullied you in school and you just watched it happen," refers to how for decades they watched each other with different people and didn't do anything about it. Also the lyrics that confirm this is about Matty is, "You said some things that I can't unabsorb. You turned me into an idea of sorts. You needed me, but you needed drugs more. And I couldn't watch it happen." Matty's definitely turned her into an idea of sorts, and he has struggled with drug addiction in the past, and Taylor couldn't watch that happen. Also, the lyrics, "Will that make your memory fade from this scarlet maroon?" is 100% an Easter egg for the song Maroon on Midnights, which is also about Matty. We'll get more into that once we dissect the Midnights album, which is the real Joe Alwyn breakup album. Next up, we have Peter, which also ticks off all the themes related to Matty, like longing, waiting, and eventually giving up. The lyrics, "You were going to grow up, then you were going to come find me," refers to how they met back in 2014, and Taylor probably waited for Matty to get himself together and be mature enough to date her, but she couldn't fix him. She also says, "You said you'd come and get me, but you were 25 and Matty was 25 when they dated." Also, we know Taylor refers to Matty as Peter because she has also used this name in Cardigan, saying, "Tried to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy." She calls herself Wendy and Matty Peter, and how they lost each other in the end because Peter refused to grow up. This is why I'm in love with Taylor's lyricism. She knows how to describe a feeling so perfectly with just few words. Now let's move on to Midnights. I call this the ultimate Joe Alwyn breakup album hidden in plain sight. This was the time Taylor knew her and Joe were breaking apart, but she still tried to make things work. And she wrote all of these songs and convinced the people they were from different sleepless nights from her life, but I think they were just plainly about her current situation with Joe and dreaming about giving Matty a chance. I think she disguised these songs so Joe wouldn't find out, because she wasn't ready to just end everything with him yet. Like she says in You're Losing Me, she's waiting for him to do something and still wants this to work out, but Joe was putting in zero effort. And that is the major reason why I think Taylor turned to Matty.
5 things that kept me up at night and helped inspire the Midnights album. The first thing that kept me up at night that helped inspire the Midnights album is self-loathing. The second thing that kept me up at night, fantasizing about revenge. The third thing that kept me up at night, wondering what might have been. The fourth thing that kept me up at night, falling in love.
Now, let's talk about Snow on the Beach. It has many alien references, just like Down Bad. In the start, she says, "One night, a few moons ago, I saw flecks of what could have been lights." Also the lyrics, "But your eyes are flying saucers," from another planet, and also "Stars" by the Pocketful line, all reference the alien galaxy universe theme. Also, the lyrics about hiding this relationship would be so dishonest, and "It's fine to fake it until you make it, till you do, till it's true," clearly depicts that she's waiting for it to happen. and faking all of it until it does. And hiding the relationship clearly depicts how she hid her feeling for Matty when she was with Joe. It's also hinting that they had started talking again at this stage, because in the lyrics she says, "My flight was awful, thanks for asking," probably giving Matty an Easter egg that it's about him. Next song is Question, which I think left the whole world puzzled about who it was. And since she had told us that the songs were inspirations from her 13 sleepless nights in her life, everyone immediately thought it was about Harry, when now we realize that it has Matty written all over it. And she made this infamous speech on the Eras tour right before she played this song, The Pouring Rain.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. I kind of just feel like telling you, like, I don't know, I've just never been this happy in my life, in all aspects of my life, ever before.
She and Matty had started dating at this point, and nobody understood her speech at that time, nor did anyone understand why she played this specific song. All of this was actually for Matty, and fun fact, he added this song to 1975's pre-show playlist in 2023, confirming the rumors that it was about him. The lyrics like Good Girl, Sad Boy, Big City, and Wrong Choices describe both of them perfectly. And this entire song is about asking someone personal questions and wanting to know what they think about them. She starts off the song saying, "I remember," which is a parallel to 1975's song About You, which Matty has loudly and proudly dedicated to Taylor multiple times and has told her on stage that this is about her. In this song, he just keeps asking, "Do you think I have forgotten about you?" And I think she's answering his question in the beginning. I don't think we need any more evidence that this is about him. So moving on to Maroon. Now, we already talked about how Scarlet Maroon is also referenced in Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus' song. The lyrics about the rust that grew between their telephones resemble their unclaimed love throughout the years. And when she says, "I wake up with your memory all over me," that's a real legacy to leave. Refer to how she was fantasizing about him once again, just like she did in Guilty as Sin. And now let's move on to Glitch. This song is basically about how there has been a glitch in the system and she's suddenly falling for someone she shouldn't be with. Now, the line that confirmed to me that this was about Matty was, "It's been 2,190 days of our love blackout." 2,190 days adds up to 6 years in total. And if you add 6 years to the time Taylor and Matty started dating, which was in 2014, we get 2020. And that was the turning point for Taylor in her relationship with Joe. She started fantasizing about Matty in Folklore, and this is clearly mentioned in the song, The One. The lyrics, "We were supposed to be just friends, and you don't live in my part of town, but maybe I'll see you out some weekend. And I was supposed to sweat you out in search of glorious happenings of happenstance on someone else's playground," does not point to Joe at all, so it has to be Matty. We also have another star reference this time in the line, "Nights are so starry, blood moonlit." So this song fits the Matty Healy themes perfectly. Then we have the famous Bejeweled song, which is a Joe Alwyn breakup song in Plain Sight. This clearly depicts how she felt in the relationship with Joe and how she thought about escaping and shining again. The line that I think specifically is about Matty is, "And when I meet the band, they ask, 'Do you have a man?' I can still say, 'I don't remember.'" I definitely believe that the band that she's talking about is 1975, and she openly tells him that she doesn't remember if she has a man back home or not. She was clearly hinting that she was ready to move on with him and give this relationship a try in the Midnights album. Now, let's move on to the next album, which is Folklore. This was the start of Taylor's relationship with Matty inside her head, and I think she was scared to tell the people and Joe how she truly felt, so she convinced the entire world that it was just storytelling of different people and characters like Betty, James, and Augustine. After seeing that she dedicated Cardigan to Matty, we clearly know that it's not just characters, but it's about her real-life story. The lyrics, "And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite," refer to how she felt ignored and bored in her relationship with Joe, and how Matty had convinced her that she was his favorite by continuously love-bombing her. Also, the Peter and Wendy line that we discussed earlier refer to both of them losing each other. Let's move on to the one which was the first song that made me question Taylor and Joe's relationship.
saying yes instead of no, it applies to the situation that the song is written about, where, you know, you're updating a former lover on what your life is like now and trying to be positive about it.
In the song, she's clearly thinking about how life would have been with someone else while being in a relationship. The lyrics, "I thought I saw you at the bus stop, I didn't though," refers to how she was starting to think about him and hallucinate him in different places. And the lyrics, "We were something, don't you think so? Roaring 20s, tossing pennies in the pool." I think this is once again a reference to having romance with someone when she was younger. Also the lyrics, "If one thing had been different, would everything be different today?" refers to her thinking about how her life would have been if she dated Matty instead of Joe. Now let's move on to August. I 100% believe that this month has a significance to Taylor, and she didn't just randomly pick it for the song. I think it refers to Taylor and Matty's brief romance in autumn back in 2014. The lyrics, "Back when we were still changing for the better, wanting was enough, for me it was enough," again, talks about longing and wanting to be with someone. The lines like "to live for the hope of it all, cancel plans just in case you call" clearly depict their twisted relationship, and I personally think Taylor might have canceled some plans, waiting for Matty at some point, while she was in relationship with Joe. Then we have the song "Illicit Affairs," which talks about cheating on your partner. Once again, we see Taylor longing for someone else and being angry at that person for turning her into a mess. The lines, "Don't call me kid, don't call me baby, look at this godforsaken mess that you made me," refers to what situation Matty had put her in. She was obviously double-minded about what to do and who to be with, and neither Joe or Matty were making things easy for her. Next, we have the Evermore album. The very first song, which is a dead giveaway for me that it is about Matty, is Ivy. The lyrics are again about being in a relationship and wanting someone else. I'm convinced at this point that Joe didn't at all pay attention to her songwriting, because how couldn't he realize that she was dreaming about someone else? Or maybe he just didn't care. The lyrics, "He's in the room, your opal eyes are all I wish to see. He wants what's only yours." That's a pretty clear reference to just being in a relationship that she doesn't want to be in. "My pain fits in the palm of your freezing hand. Taking mine, but it's been promised to another," again refers to how she's been promised to Joe but wants him again. She again says, "I'd live and die for moments that we stole on begged and borrowed time." Refers to how they never fully go the chance or time to date and only met each other in brief moments. Next, we have "Cowboy Like Me." In this song, we have clear references to an old flame when she says, now she knows she's never going to love again. We also have major twin flame vibes again when she says, "Takes one to know one. You're a cowboy like me." We also have another Star Eyes reference in the song when she says, "You're bandit like me, eyes full of stars." Also in the song, she is explaining how they are both the same people after the same goal and doing it for money and fame, which I think fits Taylor and Matty's career in the media perfectly.
Kind of two categories like cowboys and farmers. And farmers, you know, like to cultivate their thing and keep it the same. And cowboys like to kind of go out and find new pastures. Would be like, just be a cowboy. So be a cowboy.
Next, we have Gold Rush, and it is again dreaming about someone and having a crush on them. People speculated that it could be about Joe, but she was already in relationship with him, and I think she was long over her crush on him. The line, which was a dead giveaway that it was about him, was when Taylor said that at dinner parties she calls him out on his contrarian theories. And we all know Matty has very loud opinions of his own that are not liked by many people. We also have Taylor fantasizing about him again in the lyrics, "I see me padding across your wooden floors with my Eagle t-shirt hanging from the door, and my mind turns your life into folklore. I can't dare to dream about you anymore." After going through the Folklore album, we know that many songs are about Matty in plain sight, so this line fits the narrative perfectly. Then we have the song "'Tis the Season," and the line, "The road not taken looks real good now," clearly refers to how she is dreaming about him again and what it would have been like if she took a different road and ended up with him instead. It again fits all the themes, so I won't go into too much depth. Next, we have Right Where You Left Me, which is again about getting stuck in time and being left behind by a person. In the songs, she says that everyone has moved on, but she's still stuck in the past, waiting for this person. The lyrics, I cause no harm, mind my business, if our love died young, I can't bear witness. And it's been so long, but if you ever think you got it wrong, indicate how their love died young, and she's unable to move on from this. Next, we have the Lover album. I call this album Taylor's denial era. She thought she was in her honeymoon phase with Joe, but every song on the album is filled with hidden anxiety, worry, and pain. Although I think this album is 100% about Joe and different aspects of their relationship. One song that stood out for me particularly was Death by a Thousand Cuts. Now, Taylor has addressed that she was inspired to write this song after seeing the movie Someone Great. She was deeply affected by the breakup shown in the movie, and since it's a true story, Taylor was really moved by it. But I believe that you can't write this good of a breakup song if you're not really feeling all the emotions as well. At this point, Taylor was deeply worried about her relationship with Joe, and she is scared that he is going to leave her. And I think she was starting to think about what could have been if she was with Matty instead. The lyrics like, if the story's over, why am I still writing? Pages and I look through the windows of this love. Even though we boarded them up, showcase how the relationship is over, but she still thinks about it and what could have been. Now, moving on to Reputation, this was around the time Taylor was completely smitten by Joe. They were fresh in love, and I think Joe treated her really well in the beginning of their relationship. But I think Matty was never out of the picture, and people forget that it takes around 2 years for Taylor to write and produce an album. So, for example, when she was in the Reputation era doing the stadium tour and all that, she was probably writing the Lover album, and when she was doing all of the promo for Lover and planning and releasing the songs and music videos, she was already writing Folklore. The releasing process takes time, and I think half of the songs on Reputation were written right after 1989 and before she even met Joe. The song Endgame, I think, could be about Matty, because the lyrics, you and me, we got big reputations, does not fit Joe at all. Nobody knew who he was, and he wasn't famous at all until he got labeled as Taylor's boyfriend. Also, the lyrics, I hit you, like bang, we tried to forget it, but we just couldn't, refer to their short fling in 2014. And the line, I've heard about you, you like the bad ones too, refers to him being one of the bad boys. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comment. I think Dancing with Our Hands Tied is also about Matty. The lyrics, I loved you in secret, and the line, 25 years old, how were you to know, refers to how both of them were 25 years old in 2014, so it fits their description perfectly. And the lyrics, people started talking, putting us through our paces, refers to how the public was already disapproving both of them. So this can't be about Joe because people didn't find out about them for a very long time. We also know Matty was scared of the publicity, and Taylor was also kind of scared. That's why they didn't end up dating right away. That leads us to the end of this analysis. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video to see all the songs that Matty Healy has written for Taylor Swift.